Hi, it's Allie with Seattle Coffee Gear, and today we're reviewing some tips and tricks for the Mozzafiato vibratory pump, which is basically the inexpensive version of this machine. It also comes in a rotary pump. Vibratory pumps allow you to run from a tank. Typically, they're not plumbable, so this version in particular does not cannot be plumbed in, so it'll be strictly water tank. Couple of things on this machine that will make it unique. It does have a PID in the bottom, so you can adjust that and play around with it. I'd recommend starting out with a standard temperature or whatever the manual, the factory setting comes with it. When you're dialing in your coffee, you want to kind of control one variable at a time. So my recommendation would be to get your coffee grind just right, and like standard, the recipe that I use for anytime I'm dialing in would be 18 grams in, 36 grams out, between 24 and 32 seconds. That's just kind of my sweet spot. Personally, I like 27 seconds. For some reason, that just always seems to hit the right place for me. But you can change any one of those things to kind of contribute to the taste. So I always start out with that recipe and adjust from there. And temperature would be one of those things that you could adjust after you get it in your set range or variables. A couple other things to note is that this machine is a heat exchanger. So anytime you go to pull your shot, you'd want to give it some time to kind of let some of that really extra superheated water come through and kind of clear out, because you don't want that really hot water to hit your shot of coffee right away. You kind of want to get it back to the coffee brewing temperature, if you will. So it's all sitting there in the tube. When you clear it out, that'll help out a little bit. The amount that you'd want to clear out would depend upon how long the machine has been sitting. This machine typically takes around 25 to 30 minutes to warm up. So if it's just around that time, shouldn't be that long of how much water you have to sit, because it just got heated. But if it's been sitting for a while, an hour or two, you probably have a little bit of extra heat sitting, since it's been trying to heat that whole time. So you might need a couple extra seconds to run that through. You'd also want to make sure you are purging your steam arm. So basically turning it on, letting the condensation out before you actually insert it into your milk. That's going to make your milk texture better, a little more fluffy. Make sure it doesn't get watered down at all, because that definitely can contribute to that. Something else you want to think about is anytime you're using this hot water spout, this is actually pulling directly from your boiler. So that water is, one, going to be very hot, so be careful. Two, when you use it, it actually is pulling away from the heat that's been building up. So if you're using it for like a large Americano or something like that, you'll probably have to wait a little bit for the machine to reheat to contribute back to that, to get back up to the steaming pressure, brewing pressure, things like that. Couple other things to note: you want to make sure you're backflushing your machine at least once a week. If you are running this from the tank, you want to make sure you have properly filtered water going into the machine so no scale buildup happens. Rocket does sell an in-tank water filter that you can use, but I would still be careful to make sure that you can filter it as much as you can. Just don't use distilled, because it needs to read that water sensor there. I think that's about it for this guy. It's a lot of fun to use, and the more you use it, I think the more comfortable you'll be with espresso. Works a lot like the commercial machines that you see in the coffee shops, so you can get really good quality shots, and I think you'll have fun. So if you have any questions about the machine, please let us know. We'd be happy to answer that for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, and we will see you next time. Thank you.